I would like to present an ontological model with 3 components that is popular in discourse on artistic research. The terminology can become confusing since different academics can use the same terms to mean different things, so please watch out for this. A trichotomy for the ontology of artistic research may have been first suggested by Christopher Freiling, who made practical suggestions for artistic research, including research into art, research for art, and research through art. According to Freiling, research into art is the most straightforward, due to countless models and archives from which it derives its rules and procedures, and by far the most common, including historical, aesthetic or perceptual research into a variety of theoretical perspectives on art: social, economic, political, ethical, cultural, iconographic, technical, material, structural. Research through art is knowledge being archived and communicated through the activities of art, including materials research, in which partnerships with technical institutions are very useful, developmental work, for example, customizing a piece of technology to do something no one had considered before, and communicating the results, and action research, where a research diary tells in a step-by-step way of a practical experiment in the studio, and the resulting report aims to contextualize it. Research for art is what he labels the thorny one, where the thinking is, so to speak, embodied in the artifact, and the goal is the production of art, rather than the knowledge and understanding. He notes in this context that we don't want to be in a position where the entire history of art is eligible for a postgraduate research degree. This model has subsequently been developed by some professional thinkers on artistic research, such as Dombois, who references these 3 ontological elements as chiastic complements, which is a nice way of saying that they complement one another and can be repeated in reverse order. Research about, for, through art, and in reverse order, art about, for, through research. Also in a nice way, Schiesser plays with the term artifact in developing his own coinage artifact, which he describes as something artificially produced and at once an art affect and an art effect. When comparing this to Freiling's ideas, one could also postulate an artifact, a fact about the arts, or an arty sort of fact, art affect, something that affects the arts, perhaps a tool carved by research for the arts, and art effect, the effect of a piece of art, the desired effect in an artistic experience. However creative and playful these extrapolations may be, that of Borgdorf is the most precise to me. He posits research on the arts as research that has art practice in the broadest sense of the word as its object. It refers to investigations aimed at drawing valid conclusions about art practice from a theoretical distance. This relates directly to Freiling's research into art. Research for the arts as research where art is not so much the object of investigation, but its objective, and one which creates tools and the knowledge of materials that are needed during the creative process. This relates to Freiling's research through art, but I find the term for to be more fitting since one creates these tools for the benefit of artistic practice. And research in the arts as the most controversial of the 3 ideal types, since it concerns research that does not assume the separation of subject and object, since the artistic practice itself is an essential component of both the research process and the research results. This relates to Freiling's thorny one of research for art, as he called it, where I find the term in the arts to be more precise, since it places the knowledge within artistic products. The 3rd category, research in the arts, according to Borgdorf, is indeed a point of contention. Kershaw notes that radical practitioners contest that art objects may be research in themselves, while their moderate colleagues would expect some supplementary material, articles, journals, interpretive accounts of various kinds, and for the research to become manifest.